Now, ladies and gentlemen, this session is titled as Experience is Everything from Storefront to Storytelling, because today's in retail world, a great product alone isn't enough. What matters more is the ambience, the customer's journey, and the brand story. That was equally important. And the most important part of any brand is emotionally connect with their consumers and bring the shoppers back again. The guide, our discussion, please welcome our honorable moderator for this particular panel, Mr. Anirban Gupta, Managing Director, Office Services, Colliers. Can we have Mr. Anirban Gupta on stage, please, ladies and gentlemen? There he is, Mr. Anirban Gupta, Managing Director, Office Services. And I'm honored to introduce our distinguished panel members, each with rich experience across different retail segments, who will help us to understand how to build the expertise. Whether it is through their designs or the ambience or the customer support, customer service, brand narrative, or operational excellence. Please welcome as our panelist, co-founder of the Yellow Straw, Mr. Piyush Kankaria. Can we have some applause, please? Mr. Arnab Das, Director, Kusum LED Live. Mr. Rajiv C. Menon, CEO, Khimji Jewelers. Mr. Rajiv C. Menon. Mr. Saurabh Baid, Partner, Alcove Realty. Mr. Sumit Sharma heads Sales and Leasing, Shriram Ozone. Sushobhon Majumdar, Director, Shah Culture India Ventures Private Limited. Let's put your hands together once again for the each of the panel members, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Anirban Gupta, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll first start with the industry that we're talking of, retail. I'm in the industry since 2002. I have actually witnessed two recessions, which was that Lehman Brothers and as well as pandemic. In 2019, we took out a data where we found that it's approximately 779 billion USD industry, which is retail in India. And there's a projection that shows that in 2030, it'll be 1470 billion USD industry. So there is growth, which is having a huge potential. By 2030, we'll have a 25 million of job creation in the industry. So with this potential, I will start my question first with Mr. Saurabh. He's definitely one of the biggest developing house, a landmark of Calcutta, Bengal. My first question to you, sir, is how do you see the transformation from retail as an offshoot of real estate in Calcutta for the last 15, 20 years? What's your thought on that? It's been real estate and then going on to retail. And what's the future of retail looking like, making malls in Calcutta?
So definitely retail is quite under-penetrated, what we understand in the whole real estate scenario. So real estate is again a booming industry. We just launched our project, The Curve, which is again, the view of which is second to none. So we always believe in creating something which is good for the entire, say, become the town square of the particular sector. For example, Shriram, the new Kolkata Triveni Mall that we are coming up with. So it has become a town hall sort of a thing. So retail overall is on a rise, and especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where we see that retail is the key sector which is helping to develop the entire area as a whole.
So I'll give a very interesting data, about the industry, real estate. This is again a very assumed data, but the numbers have a very important relevance. The data shows like this, that if we unfold the entire stock market of the world, it'll come to approximately 5 trillion USD. That's what the entire unfolding will come to. If we unfold the entire GDP of the world, it's come to 110 trillion USD. At the same time, thirdly, if we unfold the entire real estate potential of the world, it'll come to 400 trillion USD. So that is the potential of real estate, which is maybe a 4x than the world GDP. So coming to a stretch from that, I'll go to Sumit. Sumit, my question is, I remember in 2007, India had a declaration of about 85 malls in India. End of the year, India delivered something around 40 shopping malls in India, which was one of the highest basically. Now, standing in 2023-24, we are on an average of about 10 to 12 malls delivery a year. In this market scenario, your group is coming up with 2 very prominent malls in tier 2 markets, Ranchi, Patna. Both the markets are very prominent markets right now. How do you see the retail industry? How do you see the malls' future going on, and definitely the tier 2, tier 3 markets also going on?
Hi everyone. So we are coming up with 2 malls in East India. One is in Patna, which is one of the largest mall in Bihar, spreading in 750,000 square feet, wherein the retail area is 5 lakh square feet approx. So what we have realized is, in India, like high street, used to dominate the market. There were a lot of brands in high street, and when you go out for shopping, there were very few choices, where you will go. And you end up, going to any high street store, and then again you will not find all the category, all the meds, all your choice under one single umbrella. So from there, this idea really started to make a development which has which can cater all the age group, all the choices which usually people demands for. So there, this experience business started. Mall is not only about retail. It's about what experience you are going to give to your customers. How customer, once walking into your mall, they will not only go for shopping. They need complete solution of whatever time they are spending. Every second in a mall, that experience counts for them. So it is no more just a mall business. It's a purely a community which is running the show. So when we have a mall where we have got 150 brands under one roof. So and the brands, when you talk about me for the brands, so we are catering almost all the segments. Say it hyper, say it multiplex, say it FEC, then say it international brands, national brands. All the top 100 leading brands we have already signed them. So for us, it is very important, what product you are making. It's not you are making a mall, but what is the design of the mall? How you are, catering the circulation of the mall? What is the, convenience? How much convenience is your mall to the customer? Where is the parking base? How, the customers is ultimately coming to the retail level? How easy it's for them to, reach to the food court level? So every aspect is very important when you are designing a mall. So our, investment in designing the mall is one of the biggest challenge, and we take a lot of time to develop a product. So when again high street properties are very expensive, and you don't get parking. There is a huge problem. Don't get parking. You don't get good restaurants for that, good cafes. So if you are looking for a complete package, where a kid of 2 years to 88 years, every age group can have is having their needs, and mall is the only place which can cater to their utmost, almost all the whatever their needs they have.
So I think this is also very important that, when you are doing a mall in tier 2, tier 3 cities, it's not that you're going to compromise in your quality, or maybe, you make escalators which are maybe not as maybe a metro city. I think those days are gone. I think you have to do the same level of investments and infrastructure, because it's been constantly measured with the social media being so active. It's been constantly measured. So I think that expenditure factor is not compromised. Like if you're doing maybe a tier 2, tier 3, it's like at par.
Yeah, of course. Like we are building a mall in Patna, but I'm sure it is going to compete with any other metro city malls in India. So the kind of product which we have built there, like the kind of ambience which we have already created, and it is. And like our architect is also all international. Yeah, Bentel is our architect. So Bentel has designed the mall. All our consultants are international. So whether it is toward tier 2 or 3 city doesn't matter. People come for experience, and you have to give them the best of the experience possible to get your price.
Saurabh, I think you were saying something.
Yeah, so I think that tier 2 and tier 3, the residents are extremely aspirational. So they are definitely a bit value conscious. They want to experience whatever metro city will make them experience, but they also want a local touch with it. So which is why in the mall Triveni, so we have come up with a floor which caters to the local markets. So it will be like say for example, Vardhan market of Sri Rampur. So where we have 100 square feet, 150 square feet, small kiosks where someone can exhibit the local shops. So the mix of local and national, international flavor, I think that is the way to go in tier 2 and tier 3 cities.
Exactly, I support you. One question I have, to both of you, since you are launching the mall, we say that 50% of the mall-going population is actually youth. We name them in different generations, Y, Z, whatever. So, is there any special thought you are putting on the mall for these people, to spend more time, to hold them back more in the mall? Or to make them visit and revisit the mall every time. So any thoughts you have on that? The question for both of you actually.
Yeah, of course. Like a mall is been designed to cater all the age group. Of course, youth is biggest power now. They have got the strongest power. That is why D2C brands are doing so well. Soul Store, Snitch, they are Myntra brands. They are doing very good sales. But at the same time, we have to cater to the larger group. Say, for suppose we have to have a jeweler in the in our mall, all the wedding brands, because every customer is coming, and ultimately deep pocket is going to only spend the highest amount of money in your mall. So of course you can't ignore D2C youth brands, which is Wrong, Snatch, Soul Store. So these brands you cannot ignore. At the same time, the brand mix, curation of the brand mix is also very important.
True.
So for nowadays, I think in malls, food and entertainment and FEC has become the main anchors. So they are what drives first time the customers, first time the shoppers. FEC will be driving them to the mall, and then the shopping center can take care of it. So apart from that, like just to understand, like we have heat mapping where we, through the wireless technology, we can assess who are the repeat customers, which are the area where people are more assembling. So that is how we gauge the market sentiments, and we devise our strategy of mall brand promotion according to it.
True, perfect. So there was a point of time when the food percentage of food brands in a mall was about 10 to 12% in India, and there's a time now where it has gone up to above 20%. So in fact, the world average is 24%. Singapore is about 40% where they make only food in the malls. Coming to the food concept, I'll come to one of my very, very personal favorite brand, the Yellow Straw, which is Piyush is here. my question is to you is, India is transforming to a healthy India, and we all know how it is happening. And I congratulate you to be one of the pioneers and engineers for doing that, transforming India to a healthy India. Just a little bit of your story, which is very important for the crowd, for every one of us to know actually from you.
Thanks, Anirban. Good afternoon, everyone. As Anirban was saying, India is transforming. We have seen this journey when we even thought of starting a health food brand. That was way back in 2013-14. And me and my partner Vikram, we were contemplating, since I'm a passionate foodie and he's a passionate fitness freak guy. So what should we do? And I was doing my engineering in Bangalore, doing a nice job. And I always had this first love with coffee. So I told him I have a keen interest in coffee. Let's start a chain of coffee carts, because that is something new in Calcutta, probably it should work. And then while we were contemplating, we saw a big need gap in the market when it comes to organized juice brand. And that's how the idea clicked, because Calcutta mein if you ask juice kahan peena hai, maybe the KC Das wala gali, New Market or Knick Knack. That was how Calcutta was having their consuming juices per se outside their home. And we thought, why not just add a brand element part of it, organize the whole thing, and give something which is missing in the market, not just a typical mixie wala juice where you just put your mixer grinder on, strain it and serve it. So we thought of using a cold press juicer, which was probably way ahead of times that time. But that time we were super pumped up and it all started. And that's how the journey of Yellow Straw started way back in 2014. And as we have seen the progress, the trends changing, the first challenge which everyone asks, and I keep on telling everyone I meet, was, chai wale ke shahar mein juice kaise bechoge? So we have been pretty blessed with the way we have grown and how everyone has supported us, given us a lot of confidence. And now we have expanded in other part of the country as well. We started in Hyderabad recently. So we have seen a great transformation shift when it comes to not just consuming, but even the awareness in terms of, even if you're not having a juice, but at least you're aware. Even if you're not having a salad, at least you're aware. And the choices have changed over the time, thanks to COVID, thanks to the amazing lifestyle we are all having, where we hardly find time for ourselves. So people have become more aware, more conscious, and the trends are showing very much across the West, Middle, for the Far East. The trend is, in front of us. So it's a no-brainer, honestly, and then the health food is the way forward, at least in our industry. When we see the next 5-10 years, it's going to have a massive, massive change. When you pick up big brands, the big cola brands across the globe, the last 10-20 new launches all have been health-oriented. You pick a snack brand, the last few launches all have been health-oriented. Protein is the new king. Everybody first reads how much protein is there in a food. So that's how the transformation is happening. Even the aggregators, they are focusing on healthy mode. You open your app, and the first thing they ask is whether you want a healthy mode on. So I feel this is just the tip of the entire health segment, which we are seeing, the transformation we are seeing. And there's a long, long way to go, honestly. This is just the beginning. And the way we start our consumption, even at home, offices, even in schools, if you ask. I have my kids, and they don't drink a sip of cola or a fizzy drink, because that's how the culture has been set even from the school level. And in my school days, after every basketball or volleyball match, we would go and have a fountain Coke. So that was the thing. So it's a great change, great transformation happening. And it is not that everything is health. Of course, India is very strongly driven on taste. So perfect balance of health and taste is crucial. And we are pretty hopeful this will be a great transformation over the years coming ahead.
Thank you, Piyush. Great insights. I'll come to Shushabon. Shushabon, you have started the first oil-free cafe chain. You have gone up to 31 stores. Brilliant. In this competitive world, it's one of the biggest achievement which you have done. And you have got big plans also. So a little bit of your story also, if you can let us know.
Well, thank you so much, Anirban. The story we have just started, so it's not the proper time for telling a story or like that. We have just started Cha Culture 2.2 years back, and presently we are having 31 outlets across Bengal spread, all are franchisee outlets mostly. Now the thing has come when we have started Cha Culture in 2022, like the yellow straw guy has said, the health conscious. I am pretty much health conscious, and I love to people be health conscious as well. You know, the most interesting thing when just this time I have given a stall of Cha Culture just beside this door. People came to our shop, and when I offered them French fries or the fish fries item, they have started saying no. And that's the biggest achievement what I have when people start saying no about the fried items. So that's the time when Cha Culture come to the place where we make every product even not using a drop of oil in it. So it's 100% oil-free cafe chain. Whatever the products you are having in Cha Culture, it's oil-free. Now the reason is behind this oil-free is everyone is aware about the bad effects of oil. You know, whenever you're using the deep fried oil, it's whenever a oil is being boiled more than 550 Fahrenheit, it becomes contagious. And that very same oil people are frying for twice and thrice. Anirban, you will be stunned to know that after that oil, which is being used for twice and thrice, it is not being thrown out. It is being resold in the secondary market, and it's a 1,000 crore business. Now, you can imagine what the side effect that oil fried food must be having to the youth.
It's a poison. Actually,
it's a poison. It's absolutely a poison. So that's the dangerous effect the youth of India is facing. Now, what in Cha Culture we were trying to say from last 2 years, the government has started awareing the same thing to the common people that don't eat that kind of deep fried oil items. So that's why Cha Culture born, where people can come to the store, whatever the food items they are having in their mind, but without having the fear that they will be having some poisonous food and all. So that's why the Cha Culture came. The idea is being loved by so many consumers. Every day we are serving more than 10,000 customers across our outlets, through our various outlets. And people are really happy with our quality and products. That's why within this short period of time, we got so much of love and people, affection of the people, and we have come across 31 outlets. That's a bit of it.
So a question to both you as well as Piyush. For both of you, I have this question about size of the store. Like, you know, I have seen maybe, you know, in mainly I have seen North India. I've seen Delhi mainly, where, you know, people believe in making large size stores. Like, you know, you make a transformation to a restaurant format. You start adding on sitters. You start adding on items, diversifications. So, what's your thought on the size of the store currently? What you are having? And if you want to make it more scalable, take it to a larger size stores, make it to a restaurant format, and value adding not only to the malls, but to your business also. So what's your thought on that?
I think Piyush will answer that. Will you answer it? Okay. Now, when it comes to the cafe business, all two models are basically there. One is the QSR model, and another is the dine-out model. Two model having different purposes altogether. Suppose you are having a very crowded area, what Piyush was saying about the school or hospitals. There might be you are not having a place to open a proper dine-out outlet. But your basic intention or basic motto is to feed people with the proper food quality and with the proper services. So that's the QSR outlet comes to play, where you can serve so many people at a time with your very ready-to-eat food items, not in terms of frozen or bakery item, but something which you can easily make and feed. Suppose cha, our main product is cha. It's a very common thing people want to have in every occasion. For its with cha, or suppose momos or sandwiches and all, which can serve within a 5 to 6 minutes of time to many people. So that's where the QSR model comes to play. And people generally go to cafe for spending a quality time with their friends, families and all, for having some good snacking. So there the dine-in outlet comes into play. So we are having the both model in QSR as well as in dine-in format as well, both having different purposes, both having different business model, both having different revenue generation. So that's the thing.
So we started this initially with a thought of creating a QSR chain, and we still live by that, honestly. So it all depends on the choice of the brand, in what format it wants to expand, what's the potential, what's the market size. For example, for us, the health food was not even available there when we started, and it's still at a very nascent stage. And if you go to West, there are brands like Jamba Juice and all who have as big stores as McDonald's. So probably that mindset, that culture is yet to sink in, at least in our part of the country, or this side of the country especially, where we can think of having a large dine out or a cafe experiential store. We have a couple of dining stores, but we primarily operate on QSR model. It's more of a takeaway model. And we all know how the cost of retail is going high and high, be it malls, high streets. So that's also very important how you design your entire business model.
Yes, definitely in India, the cost of real estate is an issue, for the retail expansions. So coming to the cost of real estate, I'll go back to my question to Saurabh once, since you are making yourself, the mall. So what's your thought on cost versus projected revenue? Definitely the mall has not started. Will it make sense, for you to make maybe, say, next 5 malls in the future? And how do you look into this, controlling this cost part? Because controlling this cost part has got a lot of elements. One of the elements, I'll come to Arnab also, which is the lighting. We'll come to the next question as. So what's your thought on this cost, controlling the cost versus the revenue, and doing more malls in future?
So controlling not only the capital cost is a factor, controlling the operational cost is also a major factor which will determine if your mall is profitable or not. Again, when it comes to a first time, when it comes to enter or penetrate into a first time market, where there has been not a mall in the vicinity of say 20-25 kilometers, so automatically that mall becomes the town hall of the entire district. So which is why we are confident of a mall. So and nowadays all the deals are on a minimum plus a rev share. And most of the good performing malls, within 6 months, the rev share becomes the minimum guarantee. So that is how important controlling the cost, both capital and operational cost, and to create a niche in the market where there is under penetration of the retail sector, so that that becomes the town hall and the entire locality is hustling and bustling around it.
Agreed. So once more, I would request you a round of applause for Shoshobon as well as for Piyush for being a first generation retail entrepreneur in Calcutta. So great, really, really good. Wish you all the best. So I've read this quote somewhere, who is an entrepreneur in somewhere, I don't remember, where it says that it's very important to say that, one who cannot see what others see is definitely not the entrepreneur. One who can see what others see is also not. But the third category, one who can see what others cannot see. I think they fall in that category that, they can see what others can't see, and they have built a brand. So all best wishes to you. My next question will definitely come to Arnab. Arnab, it's a very important transformation of the concept of using light, which is becoming a very, very important component of making shopping malls, commercial buildings, residentials also. So it's not only the look and feel of it, which is very important, but also the energy saving part of it. And there has been a huge development in technology also. So I would request you to enlighten us on all the factors, and the growth path that has taken us and where we are standing today.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we all know, lighting plays a very important role in retail industry. Every retail, like whether it's a jewelry industry, whether apparel industry, footwear industry, everyone has their own pattern of lighting, and even for the departmental stores also. So they have their own specs, they have their own kind of lighting. Even today, lighting plays a very important role for the consumers also. It depends like because of the lighting, consumer gets encouraged or motivated to buy a product. Like a jewelry industry, they use three kind of color temperatures to highlight their products. For gold, for diamonds, for platinum, it's all different. It's not the same. Whereas in merchandise products, like in apparel industry, the color temperature is very different. The lighting color can make the color of the product look deceptive, because of which, the people may not buy it. So the color temperature, the CRI has to be that very high so that the lighting helps the product to look as much as like the natural color it is. And yes, as per the technology goes, lighting industry is one of the industry which has got a very big hit, like in technological forefront, because earlier there used to be fluorescent bulbs, tube lights, and CDMT technology came in, and now it's altogether like 360-degree turn, like it's all LEDs. LED gives you brighter lights, it saves energy, it reduces heat emission, and product looks better and sellable. And because of the lighting, you can say maximum sales happen. So the placement of the product, it depends on the lighting only.
Thank you. Thank you, Arnab. I'll come to Rajiv. So Rajiv has come from Bhubaneswar, one of my very favorite city also, and those who have visited Bhubaneswar will see Khimji jewelers all over. So they are the big playboys of the city and doing great in Orissa. So Rajiv, my question to you is, it's a 40 billion USD industry, jewelry in India. Maybe, it's more than that, what I'm saying. There's been a lot of change in the trend. Like we see pricing have gone up, like gold prices have gone up crazy. But there are a few very important trends which I see in the industry. One of them I would like to highlight and ask you is about men buying jewelry. So today, men are buying jewelry in their own weddings, and they're buying even chokers, they're buying heavy jewelry. So what is this trend, and how do you see the future of this trend, which is coming right now in India?
So men wearing jewelry is not something new. If you take our serials like Ramayana and Mahabharata, all of them used to wear heavy jewelries. And maybe in a certain time that has reduced, but in current market, it is picking up with every brand having its own collection of menswear. And all the three metals, that is platinum, gold and silver, contribute to that range. And it's become a fashion statement or something that it's just like a self-adornment or something like that, which men are also into it today. It is not that somebody was mentioning today morning that everybody sitting here is wearing a blue jacket, but nobody noticed the shirt or the tie that was inside it. That's the statement they bring for themselves out. So they are very conscious, they are involved in the business, and definitely jewelry is also not anything behind for them.
So jewelry has got another beautiful story, which I've heard from Kalyan Jewelers, one of his competition also, that there's a concept which is called hyperlocal concept. The concept says that when you're going to enter into a new city, because the jewelry is the design, the taste, the colors, it changes. In every 100 kilometer, it changes basically. Now, when you are a brand, maybe from South India or maybe from Mumbai, you're going to come to Calcutta, what are you going to do? So that was a concept that these brands were running through, and Kalyan found this concept, even Tanishq also, your ex-company, that you do this concept, which is hyperlocal concept, which means you make large stores. So maybe, in your own city, you have a store which is maybe 2,000, 3,000 square feet. You make a 10,000 square feet store. You make huge collections, which will blend the local collections as well as the national collections, and then you grow the store in terms of sales and profitability, etc. So what's your thought on this concept which has come and been a good hit in India?
So I don't believe in this concept, to be very frank, because as we were discussing today, two main elements of cost in any retail business, one is the real estate and one is the stock. And if you take any industry, gold stocks are one of the most highest kind of valued stock in the system today. So when I was in Tanishq, it's a very systematic approach of opening a store. Yes, 8 years back, a 2,000 or a 3,000 square feet makes sense for a tier 2 or a tier 3 market, or when you're going into a virgin market. But today, the minimum is 5, and the amount of homework you do as a brand is immense. You go to that market 6 months before, or 9 months before, a year before, start doing roadshows to understand what happens. And if you are not the first player in that market, you also know, go to a competition and see what kind of stocks and collections they are keeping. It is today impossible for us to reach out to every buyer in a market, be it any industry. It is impossible for me to reach out to every buyer. So what we do is, we pick and choose what is my primary buyer, which contributes to me about 50 to 60%, what is my secondary buyer, and maybe the third one, which is community based. So it is not a kind of thing that I can open a 10,000 square feet and then take my sweet time or and bring the products, churn the product and making real. So a lot of companies, when they have moved from South, all these companies on a pan-India level today are South Indian players. One of the biggest mistake, or one of the biggest learning I would say they had, was when they went into a north market or an east market or a west market, they carried the exactly South Indian mix, including certain brands carried the same South Indian staff. I know of a brand who had employed people from down South Kerala and opened a store in Delhi South Extension. They were actually not able to even communicate properly to the team there. So what had happened is, these guys are all rock stars in their markets. They thought, okay, these guys can sell anywhere else. Doesn't happen. Once you don't connect with the customer, be it the product or be in person, you are not going to make a sale. So hyperlocal concept for me personally and on a larger level, I believe is not for a gold industry.
Right. This is also, I'll put an additional question to you. Is jewelry as a format workable in shopping malls or more workable in high streets?
Okay, this is again something which is market to market. It is not that it's not right for me to say that jewelry doesn't work in a shopping mall, because I don't know who is watching me. I walk into a jewelry store, I don't know who is watching me, who is looking at me, that what is the time I'm spending in that store. And I come down to the parking lot to take my car and go off. So a lot of players try to avoid a jewelry store in a mall unless and until that mall is heavily crowded, there is eyes everywhere across. Otherwise, you will find very, very limited jewelry stores in malls. But there are places like West where mall culture is huge. So inevitably, all your shopping happens inside that mall. So I need a representation. I would say I work for a brand named Mia by Tanishq. 40 of us, so it's a small format store. It's a fine jewelry store. We had our first 40 stores pan-India in a mall. But the brand became bigger when it went into high street, because the identity of the brand comes up in high street, be it in terms of the facade, be in terms of the location. Malls you are bonded by the malls rules and regulation, क्योंकि आपको 3 feet का size चाहिए, इतना लंबा होना चाहिए. You can't do creativity on the mall. Your opening has to be this, because every store has to sing together. So brand really comes out live on a high street, especially bigger brands like jewelry brands usually comes out.
I agree with you completely. So I'll share a small data also which says that Indian high street market, it has seen a growth of 6% year on year. Khan Market, which is Delhi's, they are number one. They have been ranked by the number one high street market in the world. So the rental growth has even crossed the most advanced markets in US and Europe also. It's been that high. Then we have got this famous Galleria market, which is in Gurugram, that has also shown a 25% growth from last year in terms of rental. In Mumbai, if we come to, there's a market called Kemp Market that's shown a 10% growth, and also there's a market which is called CP that's in Delhi also, that shows a 14% growth. So High Street is a ever-growing market. Now, my next question, to Saurabh and Sumit, both of you, will be, there's a change in the generation which we have seen. So what this generation reflects, it reflects two things. One, rising purchasing power, which is there, which has gone up, the purchasing power have gone up. At the same time, what the generation looks for is actually a retail experience that goes beyond transaction. This is very powerful words. I'll repeat that. Retail experience beyond transaction. So I don't want a transaction. I don't want to buy. I want the experience to come for. And this second part will be applicable to, my question will be applicable to Piyush and Shishapur also, that what is the experience factor, how do you take care of? So the first part of the question I'll ask to Saurabh and Sumit, that, purchasing power have gone up, but the retail experience becomes very, very important and useful. How do you plan to cater these two factors, which is demanding factor of the young generation in the mall, or what's your plan and thought on it?
So nowadays retail is all about, it's not about having how many stores. It's about having a story around the stores, which starts right from the facade, and there has to be a story around it which connects well with the Gen Z and which connects well with this generation of new customers that we are coming up with. So which is why I always said that food and entertainment center are the pillars right now which drives the customer into the market. And once the customer enters into the market and your market is well known, then the shopping is again complementing the entertainment center.
For me, I think this youth is fearless. Like they don't fear of anything. They don't have any fear. And the most important thing is they're not brand loyal anymore. They are always looking for a change. If if you are in a youth group, so you will find this word very often, like what's new happening. What new center is open. Where are you going next? They are always open to what is going to come new in the town.
So they are so they are not brand loyal, they're bro loyal. Wherever their bros are going, they're going.
Exactly. So they always want to have something new. They want to do a lot of trials. They are ready to do a lot of experiments. So if you are giving them the same thing, they get bored very soon. So you have to do a lot of activities inside the mall. You have to do a lot of community related activities, marathon, or there's a lot of competition, karate competition, then involvement of the school kids inside the mall. Like in Children's Day, we did a campaign. We invited few schools to our mall, and they came to our mall, and we did a lot of magic shows, and which these kids like. So this trend is transforming every day. You have to do something different, something new, and which is hitting their this mind. So what is going to hit their mind, you have to hit there. So you have to change the concepts. You have to keep doing the experiment. And yes, of course, ultimately they are only your customers. So you have to give them the right set of brands, right set of choices, which of course is going to encash you.
Right. So the same question to you
coming
guys.
to the second point, as the storytelling on the brand experience, I mean that is the key for any retail brand, honestly. And it's quite challenging for a QSR brand like us because we don't have a wholesome dining experience or a guest relationship manager or a service on your table. So we strongly believe in a couple of things. That is, for the first one, of course, we all know this marketing jargon, the FMOT, the first moment of truth, as to what the customer sees, experiences, goes through before even he decides to buy your product. So that is somewhere our brand, we have always focused on emphasizing that we don't sell juices, we don't sell salads, we don't sell healthy food. We sell freshness and hygiene. So that is very important for our customers to experience that even before buying our product, even if they're passing by, even they're seeing our staff, even if they're seeing our facade, or be it anything. And then comes actual brand identity building, which is the second moment of truth after experiencing your product. So the entire branding, the brand story has to be in sync. That should give a wholesome experience, from packaging to the way the guests are being served the food, to the way the food has been prepared, to the transparency in what is being made. That is very important. So I feel that's the whole thing about storytelling and the branding.
Well, I was just going to say what Sumit has just said about the youths and all, because youths are so much, they are not brand royal at this moment, and we are in a very challenging stage where we need to keep ourselves updated more than the customers. One most important thing I believe, and I always tell to all my franchisee partners whenever we are arranging trainings and workshops, that we are into a business of making people happy. We are not into a business of making people feed or anything. I genuinely believe that in this world there are two type of persons who are into this business. One is the comedian. Now, making a comedy is a huge job, and it's a very difficult job. Those are the persons who are actually making people happy, and there is another set of persons who are making people happy, are the restaurant and cafe owners, because with a good amount of food, with a good quality of food, you can make people happy. So we are into the business of making people happy. It's a very, very difficult task. So we are continuously trying that whenever a customer enters into our store, maybe it's a QSR or maybe it's a dine out, he should not go outside of the store with a wrinkle on their face. They should have a smile when they go out. So that's the story. When they go out from our stores, might be taking a selfie in our selfie zones, which we create to enlighten customers to have our brand royalty, with a brand logo beside the selfie zone all. So these are the stories what we are trying to make. These are when they are published to social medias and all, it creates the brand royalty. So this is how we are trying to process. So basically it's a business of making people happy. And I'm glad that I could make some people happy throughout these months.
Just to add on the entire experience, brand storytelling part, the whole journey, tech is also something which has evolved over the years, and it's very, very important for food chain or any retailer, to be honest. So right from the journey of the customer entering your entire, the first data to the entire experience of billing to reservicing to grievances to entire thing. And when we started 10 years back, we used to have those simple number keypad punching machines for POS billing. And now we have the state of art POS paid puja, where we have the entire customer journey captured from CRM to loyalty to everything. So tech is again very crucial in terms of experience.
So yeah, so a following small question to you also, Piyush, is that omni-channel, like everybody's asking for omni-channel, how is it going for you and your business?
For us, omni-channel business, it's good, but like physical presence is also very important, because in omni-channel you can get to see the products virtually. You will not be able to experience the light fall or the illumination level. So omni-channel helps us in getting more and more sales physically. So from what you present in omni-channel sales, people do turn up to your store, they see the light fall, they're happy, they want, because as earlier they have also quoted, like people, they really want something new every time. So lighting industry has become like that. Like every 2 months we have new product with new reflection angle, new ideas, new concepts. Even today, the retail industry, I think none of the companies, they have the same interior for their retail outlets for at least for more than 2 years. After every 2 years, they are changing it because of the lighting, because of the main thing, the customer is looking for new things. So omni-channel is important, but physical presence for us in the lighting industry is more important, because people can experience it. In omni-channel, you cannot.
True. So it's like, fast fashion coming into retail. where
all thanks to AI, some app has come up where we can use to light up the fixtures or the lights in social media, but that doesn't help to see or understand, like, how the illumination will be. It can maximum help you to understand the fall of the light. That's it.
got it.
I want to add one thing here. Like yesterday only, I was seeing this news that Snitch, as a brand, in their Black Friday sale online, they have sold 117 units per minute. Out of their few crores of business in last couple of days, 117 units, 117 units per minute doing online. I think that is the biggest revelation India had already and began with.
Exactly, it's a big platform. So I open. I think we are already over the scheduled time, but I open this forum for next 2-3 minutes. If anyone has any question to the panelists, you can ask, and they are happy to take the questions also. So anyone is having any question, you can ask, or else we'll wrap it up. So I don't think anyone has any questions. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much for the session. Thank you to the panelists, and thank you to RAI also.